Imagine trying to build an independent state while bordered by massive established empires. For a young Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the early days of the Swarajya movement were defined by extreme resource scarcity. He didn't have the luxury of wasting a single soldier or a single rupee. Every military move had to guarantee a high, compounding return on investment. This brings us to the dense, lush green canopy you see here, the Javali Valley. It was a treacherous expanse of steep drops and thick jungle that routinely swallowed armies whole. Sitting inside that jungle was Chandra Rao More, a local ruler backed by the Adil Shahi dynasty. He was wealthy, deeply entrenched in the topography, and armed with an ego to match. When Maharaj sent letters asserting his authority, More wrote back with arrogance. He claimed divine right to his land and promised that if Maharaj dared to invade, not a single soldier would leave the valley alive. On paper, launching an offensive against an entrenched lord in a deadly forest looks like a terrible waste of precious resources. To understand why Maharaj took the risk, we have to look past the trees and analyze the hidden strategic value of this specific piece of land. A standard frontal assault straight into the Javali Valley would have played right into More's hands. If we look at this tactical map of the operation, we can see how he engineered a misdirection. Maharaj dispatched a small detachment to make noise at the front lines, drawing More's attention and defenders directly towards the obvious entry point. Following the map as it updates, notice the massive secondary force sweeping around the side. While More locked on to the decoy, Maharaj personally led 2,000 men down an unexpected path through the mountain passes, dropping into the valley behind enemy lines. Caught off guard and outmaneuvered from the rear, More's defenses collapsed almost instantly. His arrogant threats vanished. The immediate returns on this operation were tangible. Swarajya acquired More's vast hidden reserves of wealth, and it sent a powerful psychological message. No local warlord was safe from Maharaj's tactical reach. But the secondary return was even better. Capturing Javali instantly doubled the physical size of the young empire. By taking this single valley, Maharaj eliminated a hostile threat right on his doorstep and converted the deadliest jungle in the region into an impenetrable geographic shield for his own people. However, simply occupying a forest doesn't secure it. To make this investment pay out over decades, the terrain itself had to be weaponized. That's why Maharaj immediately ordered the construction of the Pratapgarh fort. Look at the sheer elevation of the stone fortress you see here. It was engineered specifically to dominate the entire valley below. This created what military strategists call defense in depth. This means layering obstacles to systematically slow down and exhaust an invading force. A heavy stone fortress surrounded by miles of confusing, sheer-drop jungle acts as a geometric force multiplier, allowing a tiny garrison to hold off a massive army. Building Pratapgarh was a forward-looking, calculated move to provoke a much larger imperial response, one Maharaj was now ready to meet on his own terms. The real genius of the Javali campaign was the creation of a geographic anchor. He was actively designing the board where the inevitable future war would be fought. That response came quickly from the Adil Shahi dynasty in Bijapur, whose imposing architecture here reflects their immense imperial power. They suddenly realized a massive chunk of their territory had just been surgically removed. Bijapur now recognized Swarajya as an existential threat that required an overwhelming military response. To crush this threat once and for all, the empire dispatched their ultimate weapon, Afzal Khan, a physically imposing and famously ruthless general. This data visualization compares their respective army sizes side by side, and the math is terrifying. Khan marched out with massive blocks of heavy cavalry and artillery, heavily outnumbering Maharaj's highly mobile, but much smaller, light infantry. If Maharaj met that heavy cavalry on an open plain, his army would be mathematically annihilated in a matter of hours, so he absolutely refused to engage in the open flatlands. Instead, the Javali investment paid its ultimate dividend. Maharaj retreated and forced the giant Afzal Khan to drag his cumbersome, heavy army into these hazy, claustrophobic peaks, right into the shadow of Pratapgarh. By securing Javali years earlier, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj neutralized a giant's numerical advantage before the battle even began. He proved that you don't need a bigger army to win. You just need the vision to force your enemy to fight on a board you designed.